Good morning, scholars. Miss Keck here. Super excited to be here for our third grade Tier 3 RTI. Today we're going to work on some reading comprehension. So in order to be successful for today's lesson, you will need this book right here, Sally Snip Snap's Party, which you can find on getepic.com. The link is also provided with you in the email. Before we get started, we're going to make sure we have everything, so take that time to pull up that book right now. Alrighty, scholars, now we're going to get started. Scholars, how many of you have had a party at your house? I definitely have. What had to happen in order for that party to happen? Share with Miss Keck, what did you have to do before that party in order to have it happen? Thank you so much for sharing. Today, Sally Snip Snap Party is a story about a mom who is excited about throwing a party and asks her children for help. When her children don't help her, she has to do all the work for the party herself. Let's read and find out what happens in the story. Before we get started, we're going to check out some sight words. Our sight words are right here. Check out our sight words. We're going to say it, Miss Keck's going to say it, and then you're going to repeat it. Ready? The first word is said. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. The next word is want. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. The next word is myself. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. And our last sight word is them. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job. Send yourself some shine. Send Miss Keck some shine. Send whoever's home at you some shine. Awesome job, scholars. Alrighty, so next we're going to, before we jump into the book, we're going to learn some decoding skills. So if we find a word that we don't know, we're going to break it into chunks and then read it faster and think to ourselves, does that make sense? Got it? Let's try with this word. So if I'm reading this word, I might say sandwich. Sandwich. Does that make sense? I'm going to break it up into chunks so I can figure out the word. Let me see if I see a chunk that I know. I see one right here. This is the word sand. Sand. Great. Ooh, I see a digraph. We've been working on digraphs right here. So I see sand. Ooh, let's look at this part right here. Which, sand, which, sandwich is. Sandwiches. Sandwiches. Does that make sense? Awesome. Yes, sandwiches is a word. It's something you eat. Awesome job. So scholars, as you're reading the book, you are going to find chunks that you know and think to yourself, does that make sense? And we're going to read it slowly, then read it faster. Awesome job, scholars. So now you are going to open up the book and start reading. Remember, when you're reading, we want to read it quickly to build fluency and accurately, which means we get the words right. You can pause the video here. Awesome job reading, scholars. We're now going to jump into our reading comprehension questions. But before we get started, we need to make sure that we mine for evidence. When we mine for evidence, it means we find the answer in the book before we answer the question. So we find the text evidence before we answer the question to make sure that we're right. Alrighty, scholars, we're going to get started with our comprehension question. First question, are you ready? Let's go. Our first question is, what does Sally Snip Snap have to do to prepare for the party? What does Sally Snip Snap have to do to prepare for the party? Find that evidence. Great job finding the evidence. Now, can you tell me what the answer is? Awesome job, scholars. This was a factual question, so you could find the answer to this question in the text, directly in the text. Great job. Send yourself some shine. Say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome job, scholars. Let's go to our next question. Our next question is, why do the children not help Sally Snip Snap prepare for the party? Why do the children not help Sally Snip Snap prepare for the party? Find that evidence. Awesome job finding the evidence. Now, can you tell me the story? Tell me the answer to the story based on that question? Awesome job, scholars. Send yourself some shine. Send Miss Keck some shine. Send a friend some shine. Awesome job, scholars. We have 2 more questions left. Our next question is, how does Sally Snip Snap change throughout the story? How does Sally Snip Snap change throughout the story? Find the evidence. Awesome job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Great job, scholars. This is a critical thinking question. We have to think critically about how the character changes throughout the story. So we have to be able to pick up on what the character is doing throughout the story and put it in our own words. Great job, scholars. We're going to do another critical thinking question as our last question for today. Our last question is, what lesson is the author trying to teach us in this story? What lesson is the author trying to teach us in this story? Find the evidence. Great job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. You did an amazing job today answering these questions and reading the book, Sally Snip Snap's Party. I'm super excited to see you tomorrow, and have a great day.